We have massive news to get to because map rotations have been announced. Your stay in paradise has been upgraded at the start of episode 7. Act 2, Breeze will return to the map rotation with a few changes, more than a few. Fracture and Pearl will rotate out. Okay, so Fracture, I'm a bit sad. I always like the map, but okay. And Pearl, get gone. Don't care. Won't miss you. See you later. Off you go. One day they'll get rid of Ascent, but unfortunately it was not my day. So we're getting two maps. We're getting Breeze back, and we're getting a new map as well at the start of episode 7 act 2. So that's why 2 maps are leaving. But now let's dive into these changes, and I've made myself small so you can all see it. Here's Breeze. The old Breeze that you know and love. But it's very, very different because look at this. This was the old Breeze. This is what it looks like now, which is a big, big change. So this kind of wall has been all the way extended out here. You can now jump onto this ledge, it looks like, up here as well as the attackers. And yeah, this is, if you're struggling to comprehend it, because I know when I first saw it, I did as well. Here's the backside of it. This is what it looks like from the defender's point of view. And yeah, it's very, very crazy. Now, quick notes on this. For me are that it seems like, so this space now, right, and they do this elsewhere as well, they seem to have been against these kind of, you know, double way things, right, like where you could go around this pillar both sides in the past. You know, we saw it on Fracture with kind of Dish, now we're seeing it here on Breeze as well. You know, they seem to be against those kind of things now, and kind of simplifying these spaces. This will mean that for the attackers, right, as you're the attackers and you're coming out of kind of spawn by the barrier, you can probably get up to this space, right, and just focus towards double door, right? You can just fully go forward and just only look at double door, and this space is kind of yours now, right? This is a very attackers friendly space compared to before. So that's good for the attackers. Also, they can now threaten with this angle to create a very weird thing where, you know, you're going to be looking probably the people in towards Nest and creating a very weird fight in there, which will be interesting as well. And yeah, this is a very weird space from the defender's point of view here on the backside as well. Obviously, tucking yourself into this kind of angle might be something that we see, but that might be, I don't know, that could be a bit weird, could get kind of funky here with kind of fights in general, but it seems like the attackers have been given that kind of early advantage of taking that early part of mid without too much threat of like an op now, right? Because you can get this space, and any ops, you know, towards kind of tunnel or in kind of the nest there, you know, you aren't going to be in danger early on as the attackers here taking that space. And also defenders pushing out from the top side of mid also isn't going to be nearly as threatening either. Obviously double doors they could still push out of, but from, you know, kind of back here, that's not going to be as threatening. Okay, moving on towards the B site, and again, we've got some simplifying here of this kind of wall where, again, you know, back in the day, and we do see this change kind of a lot, where this would create like 4 different head angles potentially, I guess, and so, you know, it makes sense to get rid of that wall and just simplify it, and they have done with, you know, just a flat wall now and just a little wall there with a little kind of thing to stand on. So you still are going to be able, as the defenders, to kind of have this little back angle here looking out towards kind of B main. That's still there, but I think perhaps the bigger change overall is the lack of the stairs, right? So it used to be you had the stairs here to come down here. No longer is that the case. Now obviously you can still jump on this box and jump over the wall. Of course, that's still a possibility, but yeah, kind of weird that this is now kind of more cut off, let's say, right? You can still get there, but it's just going to be maybe a bit more awkward or a bit more time consuming to actually get over the wall, essentially, to get onto the other side here of Breeze and kind of towards the kind of lane part of Breeze. And if we look at it from this point of view as well, I think this is a pretty interesting change, because now that this is a solid wall, so I'm going to assume that this box, there isn't one on the other side, so the attackers have to come kind of all the way down here, you know, jump on this box, jump on that one. My first thought was like, I could see this almost being like Ascent. On the B site of Ascent, where you take the site, so if you're the attackers, you come in onto the site, you take the site, and you take this space here, but you don't actually like take the part of the site where you actually have to plant, and everyone just kind of pauses there. That's something I could see happening, where, you know, it's just kind of a stalemate. The attackers are kind of just locked back here and maybe in B main, and the defenders are just kind of over here, and, you know, just kind of, it's just kind of a staring match for a while, and kind of no one controls the actual part of the site where you have to plant. That could be quite interesting. I think for post plants for the attackers, this becomes like a a great place, right? This is like a dream for the post plant, because you can probably, I assume, if you stand on this box, you can see over it and see back there. I would think, or kind of see back towards arches and whatnot. And obviously with a solid wall here now, it just gives you kind of just more cover, more place to play in, right? Less vulnerable to like mollies and stuff. So yeah, for a post plant, I think that this is going to be kind of good for the attackers, honestly, and like a nice place to be. But it could be very interesting with actually taking the site itself, and how much of the site do you actually try and take, or does this space become a place where defenders actually play, try and backstab from? It's going to be very interesting. This might change the dynamic on that B site. Okay, arguably the biggest change is that halls, they just got rid of it. As far as I know, you can't go through this, you can't break it. I'm assuming Omen TP can't go through it, and I'm assuming that Eurogate Crash or anything like that can't go through it. Which is very, very interesting. It means that this door is completely defender-sided, pretty much, right? If you're the defenders, you open the door all the time, I think, right? And it's going to be interesting to see, do attackers ever go here? How often do attackers go here? Is the vent still a thing? I don't know. I guess it's kind of a different, almost different type of lurk, where you're trying to cut off rotations here, but you're hoping that they rotate this way, but if they don't, you're kind of just screwed and in the no man's land. Very, very weird, very different. I'm kind of sad because I liked halls. I thought this was a good part of the map. It was kind of, I thought, the most interesting part of the map. But yeah, if you're the defenders now, as far as I can tell, just open the door all the time. And if you're the attackers, you might even need to smoke this off now as well, because I'm pretty sure the defenders will be opening the door. And towards mid very quickly as well. This one isn't like too big, but again, it's just a simplification. We've, just fully opened this door. Again, just simplifying the space. We've added this box as well, which does mean that the kind of distance between this isn't massive. Again, all these changes, with the first change to mid and some of the changes that we've seen there for halls as well, it kind of seems like they're gearing everyone to kind of, again, just simplify it a bit and go, guys, just do A splits, right? Just come here into mid and, come and do an A split, go through A main, go through this, and, that's going to be your path onto the A site. That's how you're going to get in. That seems what it seems to be saying to me, at least, that, yeah, we've kind of simplified this space again for the attackers. This doesn't take a lot, a jet smoke in here, a Cypher Cage in there, and you're in, and you're going on your way towards the A site. But then another massive change here to kind of the shop as well. It looks like the stairs have kind of been widened here somewhat on both sides, so it looks like maybe people could stand on either side here. We'll get to what's going on in the background in a second, because that's crazy. That's arguably one of the biggest changes as well. But yeah, just perhaps the door is a little wider as well. Can't quite tell, but yeah, this change not too much. But this next one, remember this? Remember what this looked like? The cave here, right? Yeah, no, that don't look like that anymore. Again, it's the same thing that they did with the pillar. It's the same thing they did to Dish. Any kind of two-way entrance to stuff, it seems like they've just said, no, we're not doing that anymore. That doesn't work in this game. You could see that there probably is space maybe for people to get on either side of this door. This is obviously a massive, massive change. We almost kind of need almost a further back shot. I kind of want to see, more of what's going on. Don't know where the ult orb is either. Maybe probably behind this box. I don't really know. But yeah, very interesting change. Be interested to see if the barriers stay here. Do we get defenders like smoking this? Do defenders come and aggressively play for this space? It's very possible that that is the case of what's going to happen. That, this fight for A, a lot of it will kind of be determined in A main. I could see that happening quite a lot. Getting an op on this angle as well seems pretty beneficial at this point also. So yeah. Interesting changes abound. Seems like some are more defender-sided, some are more attacker-sided, some a bit more situational. But yeah, massive changes to Breeze. Breeze is coming back. We're getting a new map. Fracture and Pearl are gone. Let me know what you think in the comments, because my mind was absolutely blown by some of these changes, because they do seem pretty massive.